Good afternoon, sports fans. George Steele, VP of Operations for Mark the Hurricane Hoffman. Guys, on our free play videos, we are a credible 6-1. That's right, guys. We have taken the last couple of days off, but we're back here Monday, August 27th, and we're going to get you paid one more time. Now, if you have not been over to our website, it's markmoneyhoffman.com. That's MarkMoneyHoffman.com. And guys, what you're going to find over there, you're going to find a ton of free stuff, lots of previews, both with baseball and football, lots of season team win totals on there. You're also going to find a premium section for the buy now part for those of you looking for our premium stuff. Now, Mark Hoffman has been an industry leader for 20 plus years. Nobody hotter in this industry right now than Mark, and Mark has a ton of promotions going on, guys. So make sure you check out the website, go around, play around with that. Go to our YouTube site for these videos. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get all the notifications. That way, whenever we have a video, you'll get notified right away. Also, when Mark has one of his specials, you will get notified, whether it be a Blue Diamond play, whether it be a game of the month, game of the year, just special game, you'll get notified right away. And Mark is known to, the earlier you get in, you'll get a better price. So you'll get notified before anybody else will. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and the bell so you're notified aware. Now, when we're doing these free videos, we rate them on a 1 to 5 scale, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. So play your bankroll accordingly. And like I said, so far we've done 7 videos. We're 6-1. They're on the website. You can check them. No bullshit. No making up fake numbers. We try to get you paid every day. As football starts here, guys, we'll probably be doing more and more than 1 game. So probably up to 3 a day. Right now today, small betting board today, so we're going to preview 1 game. And let's get to it, guys. We're going to preview the New York Mets at the blazing red hot Chicago Cubs. Now, guys, this game goes off at 8:05 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And the pitching matchup tonight is a pretty good one. The Mets will go with one of their stars, Noah Syndergaard, and the Cubs will throw out veteran pitcher Jon Lester, who's been on fire as of late. Now, the Cubs, ever since acquiring All-Star Daniel Murphy last week, have been undefeated. So Chicago has gone out, acquired some guys over at the trade deadline and the waiver deadline in Cole Hamels and Daniel Murphy, and have really bolstered their team for a huge playoff run. Obviously, we all know they won the World Series 2 years ago and are looking to come back. In my opinion, they have the best manager in baseball in John Madden. And hopefully here, guys, the Cubs are going to make a big run to the playoffs. Now, the New York Mets are a team who is always supposed to compete. They look great on paper, and for whatever reason, just year after year, whether it be injury, dysfunctional issues within the organization, or what have you, the water there in New York, they just seem to have problems, and this year is no exception to that rule. But that doesn't mean you can't find a good spot to play them, and here we're going to go with the preview, guys. Let's start off with the New York Mets team report. The Mets currently sit 15 games behind NL East leading the Atlanta Braves. The Mets are out of the playoff hunt, guys, and so they have a different agenda here. Their agenda is more showcasing some young talent, bringing up some kids from the minor leagues, and saying who's going to be part of their future. New York has a record of 58-72 on the season, so 14 games under 500. Now, New York is 29-32 this year on the road. Not bad for a team that's 14 games below 500, only being 3 games below 500 on the road. So keep that stat in mind. They have been playing pretty good baseball in August, so some of these kids coming up have done well. They are above 500 in August with a 14-12 record. Now, they have had issues all season long when playing at night. They are 14-19 when playing on the road at night this season. And over the past 3 years, they are 153-164 when playing under the lights in total games. Now, when New York has faced a left-hander this year, they are 14-19. So 5 games below 500 when facing left-handed starting pitchers. Since 2015, not great either, 48-61. So 13 games below the 500 mark when facing left-handed pitching. The Mets are 2-8 on the season when being shut out the day before. The previous game, they were shut out. And again, that's not a great stat. So this is a team maybe that when they're slumping, it carries over into the next day, being 2-8 after being shut out the day before. Over the last 3 seasons, the Mets are 113-127 after losing the day before. So this is a team, guys, that doesn't necessarily get over the hump well after losing the day before. There are teams that do, especially veteran teams. Guys seem to be able to put the loss out of their mind. This team does not seem to be great at that. However, 113 and 127 is not the worst team record in baseball off of teams coming off of a loss. So remember that. The Mets have had difficulty beating good teams this season, and that's not surprising when you have a team who's 15 games out of first place. When New York plays a team with a winning record, they've gone 28 and 39 on the year. Now, let's look at Chicago Cubs starter Jon Lester. John has been a reliable left-handed starter his entire career, formerly with Boston, then Oakland, and now the Chicago Cubs. Lester is 14 and 5 on the season with a 3.64 ERA. Remember, he pitches at home in Wrigley Field, which is normally a hitter's ballpark, so a 3.64 ERA is quite credible. John is coming off of 2 consecutive wins. Last game was at Detroit, and the game before that was against the Pittsburgh Pirates. In those 2 appearances, he has only given up 1 earned run in 11 2/3 innings of work. As a team, the Cubs are 19 and 7 in Lester's appearances where he starts. So the Cubs are 12 games over 500 in games that Lester starts. That means they get the job when he is starting on the mound, and that's always good to know. When a team wins, when a pitcher's starting, guys, you always want to keep that in your back pocket. Lester has had very, very good success against the Mets in his career. He has held Mets hitters to a 226 batting average in his career with them. Now let's go to the Chicago Cubs, guys. The Cubs continue to lead the National League Central Division over the red-hot St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals, guys, are one of the hottest teams in baseballs, but the Cubs continue to win themselves, increasing their lead to 4 games. Now, earlier in the season, it was Milwaukee that the Cubs were battling. Milwaukee has flattened out. It's now the Cubs in St. Louis, but the Cubs do hold a 4-game advantage in the division. The Cubs are 23 games above 500, sitting at a record of 76 and 23. Now, the Cubs, when playing at home as a favorite between $1.25 and $1.75, have an 18 and 12 record, so winning 60% of those games. Chicago has played great at home at Wrigley Field, as expected. Most Joe Madden teams do play well at home, or Joe Madden teams play well at home. The Cubs continue to play great baseball in the month of August. They are 15 and 8 this month, guys, so winning almost 2/3 of the games, and that will get you to the playoffs. When you can win 2/3 of your baseball games in August, that's the right time to be getting hot. Like we said a little bit earlier, Chicago has acquired Cole Hamels and Daniel Murphy to go already with a great roster, great relief pitching. Chicago, just as another stat for you, they have the best relief in baseball, especially long relief. When starters give up runs and the Cubs have to go to the bullpen early, there is no better bullpen than the Chicago Cubs in baseball. The Cubs are 57 and 44 this season when facing right-handed pitching like Syndergaard is. The Cubs are coming off a 9-0 shutout win against the lowly Cincinnati Reds on Sunday. The Cubs did sweep that series at home. The Reds are not very good, but can hit the ball, so Chicago did, though, dominate that series. The Cubs are 42 and 34 when coming off a win the day before. They have won 5 straight games, and like we said before, have not lost since acquiring All-Star second baseman Daniel Murphy. When the Cubs play after winning 3 consecutive games or more, they are 12 and 8 on the year. So again, guys, this is a veteran team. They won the World Series 2 years ago. This is a team that seems to get rolling and be able to win a few games in a row. Keep that in mind. When the Cubs have played when they're playing teams below 500 like the Mets are, have played great all season long. They're 32 and 17 versus teams that are below 500. Now, let's talk about New York pitcher Noah Syndergaard. He is their ace, and he is 9 and 3 on the year with a 3.3 ERA. He's actually co-ace, let's say, because Jacob deGrom, I would also characterize as an ace. So they're probably 1-1A if you want to declare aces for the staff. But Syndergaard is right up there. He is coming off a 5-3 victory over the San Francisco Giants, where he went 6 innings of work, only allowing 2 runs to score. He is 3-2 on the season with a 3.42 ERA when pitching on the road. His last road appearance on the 17th of August was against Philadelphia, where he allowed 4 runs and 8 hits in 5 2/3 innings of work. So Philly, who's not known to have the greatest bats, he did have a little bit tougher of a start against them. He is 5-2 in his last 7 overall appearances with a 3.86 ERA. He has not fared well against the Cubs, however, in his career. Cubs hitters are hitting .317 career-wise against Syndergaard. So it is a team that Noah seems to have a little bit more difficulty with. Again, the Cubs have a lot of veteran hitters. When you go to Wrigley Field, it's a little bit tougher pitcher's park. So that may be a few indicators there. You may have to read into that stat a little bit. Guys, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to see who we're going with, and we do like the line here. Even though it's the Cubs at home in Leicester, and they are off 5 in a row, you are still facing a good pitcher in Syndergaard, so the line is quite a bit lower than would probably be. Right now, we're seeing the Cubs at $1.35 to $1.40, and that's going to be our play, guys. We're going to rate this at just a 2-star play. However, again, our free plays are 6 and 1, so our play today, guys, the Chicago Cubs minus the $1.35 to $40, a 2-star play. Again, our free play today, the Chicago Cubs minus the money, a 2-star play. Make sure you go to our website, markmoneyhoffman.com. Go check out the Hurricane, guys. Go over to our premium section, but go get yourself paid. One more time, 2-unit play, Chicago Cubs minus the money. We'll see you tomorrow.